Let's bring in one of DC's finest. Tim Murray, host of VSiN PrimeTime, weekdays 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern. You can follow him on X as I do at 1 Tim Murray. Tim, how are you, my friend? And what is your biggest takeaway from Championship Sunday?
That Matt Humans likes his steaks medium well?
I know. I know that just throws everything off, Tim. I mean, I know we're supposed to, be all Super Bowl all the time, so we will not be breaking down the Boston U Holy Cross. We were going to have Tim break down Patriot League
basketball. We got jobs
basketball.
to do and get it. But, man, that threw me for a loop, guys.
Me too.
I was getting hungry listening to the Omaha Steaks read, and then, then that happens.
It ruins everything.
Snap out of it into well, man, I tell you what, Wes, I can only imagine Dave taking a victory lap right now of going after analytical Twitter at this moment. Dan Campbell.
Yes, finally.
But here's the thing. That's not analytics.
Right.
Like, I texted a good buddy of mine who is very analytically savvy. And I go, there's analytics, and then there's whatever that was. He goes, that's not analytics, that's gambling. And that's what it was. Like, there is no way of explaining it. And I get it. Like, he's done it all year. And, Dave, you could attest to it as a Cowboy fan. We all watched it where he just said, bleep it on that 2-point conversion. I'm going for it anyways, And that's just who he is. And let's be honest, man, that's why the Lions, in my opinion, aren't in the Super Bowl right now.
Yeah.
So, here we stand. And now, guys, it's going to be 2 weeks of a reminder that Patrick Mahomes is 10-1-1 ATS as an underdog. He's 9-3 straight up as an underdog. And this number, as we've seen, has already moved towards the Kansas City Chiefs. So it's going to be a lot of that discussion. But can we not forget that the second half of the Ravens-Chiefs game was the Chiefs' defense making the plays? Like, yes, the third down conversion won the Chiefs the game, but the Chiefs' offense did diddly and squat in the second half. The defense made the plays. Zay Flowers fumbled in a great play by Snead at the goal line. Lamar throws the interception. The second half, they were on their heels the entire time. So while betting against Patrick Mahomes has been an unsuccessful endeavor for many, including yours truly today, because I had the Ravens, let's not forget what the second half brought to us, which was they didn't really do anything in the second half offensively. It was the defense that made the plays when they needed to, and you could define whether it was the Chiefs made the plays defensively or the Ravens messed up offensively.
Yeah, 5 punts, by the way, in the second half for Kansas City. 20 of those yards on the final drive was the too many men on the field, and then the unnecessary roughness, which I believe they did on purpose to try to save that timeout. And Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who couldn't catch that ball on Monday night against the Eagles when I really needed it, but he goes ahead and gets it done today, and the Chiefs are moving on. So, yeah, Tim, we've been talking about that with a couple guests already on the show in terms of what you saw recently. And look, we've seen the Chiefs now win twice on the road in the playoffs. We've seen San Francisco, twice as big favorites, not cover the number, but find a way to get it done at the end here. So do you look at the 49ers, because I think some of the bettors, at least based on the early action, are looking at the 49ers as lucky. So do you look at them as lucky, or do you look at them as gutsy?
That's a great way to look at it and ask it. I would say a little bit of both because I agree. I believe what I said, which is they should have lost this game and they should have lost to Green Bay. I thought Green Bay was the better team, and I thought Detroit, to an extent, was the dumber team today. I mean, with the decisions that they made. But and I said this all week when I, talked about, look, my official play on the show, I like to keep things as transparent as possible on the network, was a money line parlay. And I said it on the show Friday. It feels super square. It was, because Baltimore obviously didn't get there. It was Baltimore to San Francisco. And watching that first half, and I'm like, man, I don't know what's going on. So now here we sit, and there's this there's this good angel, bad angel, where I look at the good angel, or I don't know if this is a good apt comparison, but I look at it, I say, all right, Brock Purdy's a favorite versus Patrick Mahomes. I got to go with Patrick Mahomes. And then I look at the other side and I say, but San Francisco 1 through 53 is a better team than Kansas City. And I said that about Baltimore, and I still believe it to be true. So yeah, it's gonna be fascinating. I have not made a bet yet. I know there's plenty of people who have jumped in and made their bets, and obviously we've seen this market move where you guys sit at circa, it's down to 1. There's 1.5s out there as well. So we've seen movement towards Kansas City. I understand it completely, but I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna dive in a little bit more. My initial feel, to be honest, guys, is San Francisco, but I just haven't gotten there yet because look, at the end of the day. One team has maybe the greatest quarterback of all time with the way he has played to start his career, and the other has Brock Purdy. So we will see how it plays out. But to answer your question, Wes, it does feel like they're certainly a bit more lucky than gutsy at this point. But at the end of the day, they're here, and all that doesn't matter. The San Francisco 49ers, a team that many believed was the highest power-rated team in the entire NFL all year long, on a neutral field now, is only a 1-point favorite against the Kansas City Chiefs.
I look at this, Tim, and while we've seen the movement here on the side, we're not seeing it on the total, 47.5. And this is perplexing to me to see where we think this line might go in the next 2 weeks. I would assume we think it goes up, fast track, Chiefs offense a little bit better, although, as you mentioned, absolutely nothing in the second half, while San Francisco's offense did nothing in the first half and did everything in the second half. Do you think that's the way we see it? Whether or not you like it to go over is another story, but do you think the number is eventually going to go up?
I would think it would tick up. 48 is a key number, Dave. I kind of lean under, and I'm kicking myself because I told you I made that bet, which was the money line parlay, sat back with it. And I said to myself, man, I really like the under in Kansas City, Baltimore. I didn't play it, and obviously that was a pretty dead under situation. So the more and more I look at this game, let's be honest with ourselves here. Kansas City, the best unit they had all year was their defense. It was better than their offense. And I know the offense was humming in that first half, but they won the AFC Championship, in my opinion, because of their defense and Chris Jones being an absolute monster and, Snead making the big play at the goal line. So the thing that I did take away from today a little bit, to be honest, guys, was, man, that San Francisco defense felt a little more leaky than I anticipated today. And I think that's the thing that I come away just a little questioning, right? I know there was a lot of people out there enjoying the Chase Young struggles on some run fits. And Dave, I'm sure you and I have some familiar friends that were having some yucks on that. And I'm like, yeah, where was that when you were bowing down at the altar of Chase Young? But that's another discussion for another day for us DC folks.
That's right.
But, the San Francisco defense came away to me was the one I was like, man, are we so sure about this? But my initial lean would be under in this game. So, we'll see how it all plays out. But, I think if you like the under, to be honest, Dave, I would think you just wait back and see where this thing goes, and maybe it ticks up a little bit and you get under a key number of a 48.
Yeah, I absolutely think that if you're going to be an underbacker, that's the advice here. Go ahead and wait. Very quickly, I know we're DC guys here. 100-1 next year. You don't know who the head coach is. Could I interest you in that ticket to win the Super Bowl next year?
Stop. Please stop. Don't do this.
No interest.
Come on, Tim.
No interest.
For old DC.
Are we going to talk a little Virginia Tech Castle Coliseum tomorrow, catching points against the Dukies, or is that another show?
Yeah, it might be another show. I don't know. We still got to talk some basketball, though, even though we are all SB all the time.
If Del Curry's suiting up tomorrow, then you got my action, Tim. Appreciate you, man. We'll catch up again soon.
All right, boys. Talk to you.
There he is, everybody. Give him a follow at 1 Tim Murray.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.